Hello, welcome back to my channel. Always happy to find you here. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Hope you stay for a good long while. Bring a friend with you. Help to grow my channel. I do upload on Mondays, Thursdays, and Fridays, a little short philosophical Friday to kick off our weekend. This is part 3 in the last video on this topic of the double standard of dating. When I mean dating, mating, living with a person, being exclusive, being married to a person. You and I are locked in. If you haven't watched the first 2 videos, I encourage you to go and watch those 1 and 2 so that you could join us where we are right now in this final installment, in which I'm wanting to refer to what I call the revenge of the nerds in the dating world, mating world, marital world, and the double standards is that. I noticed years and years ago the rapper Biggie Smalls, who is talented, who was talented, popular, successful, but not at all attractive. I mean, it just is what it is, not at all attractive. And I kept seeing him out. And the woman on his arm was always beautiful. And I thought, how did he get her? I also noted that Jeff Bezos of Amazon had been married all these years, and then he ended up leaving his wife for the weather girl of Los Angeles. And I thought, why would he do that? She's a weather girl. I mean, not to knock a weather girl, but when I saw her, she was beautiful. And I thought, how did she, how, how did she get him? How did he get her? Another time I had gone out and I had seen an executive who was not that attractive either. Very, what I call nerd-like, not to knock a nerd. And he had this beautiful woman in his arms. She was model beautiful. And I thought, how do you get her? In many cases, it was an arranged, it was an escort type of thing. And men had began to date women that in their earlier years before they became who they are now, those women wouldn't even look at them. They wouldn't give them the time of day. They had to become who they are now. They had to become famous. They had to become wealthy. They had to become the head of a company. And I thought, oh, she's with him because of what he has, not who he is. Because if you take that away, she's gone too. And I thought, how empty is that? Well, no. How common is that? I'm just a person who dates for love. And so something like that isn't even in my horizon. But people do it all the time. And to add to that, to add salt to that, I heard a group of nerds. Now, they had their own little channel, and they were something like The Nerve to Be a Nerd or something. I've ended up clicking on it just because I like the name of the channel. I think it's called The Nerve to Be a Nerd. And they were all gloating about the fact that they all wanted cheerleaders, that the same cheerleaders who wouldn't even speak to them, who would walk by them in school and just ignore them like they didn't even exist, are now trying to be with them because now they're so famous and they're so wealthy and so they just wanted to conquer the cheerleader because in their mind it was revenge of the nerds from high school. It's just unbelievable, I thought. So You didn't really like the person. You just want, I couldn't get you in high school. I'm going to get you now. And many of them have said, now that I conquered you, I'm going to toss you like you used to toss me in high school. Like I didn't even see you. So it's revenge. Well, how sadistic is that? That's just crazy. I can't get it. That's just crazy. But it's very common. And so, ode to the true road to love, in that I'm not interested in you because I'm not, I'm not choosing, how would I put it? You don't choose a person over someone else because someone else earns a little more money. The person you really love everyone has the potential to earn a little more money. You don't choose that person because that person um, has a little less baggage. Everybody can treat and care for and eliminate their baggage. To me, this is me speaking as a person when I'm saying that, talking about a solid one-on-one, you and I unbreakable partnership bond. If you haven't watched my video where I talked about, are you in a partnership or not? Are you in a parameter or perimeter in your relationship? Go back and watch that, because that'll help you understand this. Talking about the partnership. If you're going to business with someone, you want to know everything about them, and you're sticking with them no matter what. That's a partnership. If you're doing something at work where by which my success and your success is going to propel us onto the next higher position, that's a partnership. The same thing for a solid relationship that's going to lead into the union that you ultimately want. I'm not going to pick him because he earns a little few more dollars than you. You have potential to earn. I'm not going to pick him because he carries a little less baggage than you. You have potential to heal. I am going to pick you because my soul responds to yours. You ultimately need me. Mhm. Because here's the thing about a true queen and a true king. Let me break it down to you real good, the real good. He needs her. Mhm. Mhm. They desire each other. She wants him, but he needs her. Let me tell you what. Study the history of the journal of love. Study the history of the commodity of love. Um, Study the understanding of the partnership and the parameters of love. Here's the one thing: if he's a real king and she's a real queen, he needs her. She makes him better. She wants him because she was created for him. They desire each other because they can only get those two things from one another, and there's no other way about it. And the reason people don't have it is they don't know that. They don't know that. So they keep recycling people. Some have even gone back to another person where it was never working before, and go back and go back and still try to fix it, when the queen you have missed out on, or the king you have missed out on, because you couldn't recognize. And because you couldn't recognize, the reckoning started happening, and nobody else is sufficient. You may not ever admit it. You may not ever say it. No one else is sufficient because your soul desired that person. So this is what I mean by I never understand those type of relationships and how someone can a position and power can do that. The first thing I say is they're not married to, they don't love, or they're not being satisfied at a higher level of love by which that wouldn't even be a consideration. They wouldn't even think it. Mm-mm. They wouldn't even think it. They'd have too much to lose. To lose a queen like that, you will be shattered because of it. Now, I know that sounds harsh. I know that sounds harsh. To lose a person like that because you stepped out on them or you did something that were not able to harness them, you will be shattered in such a way that you wouldn't admit to anyone but yourself and the God that can hear your heart and your tears that cry within it. It's serious. Because that kind of love is rare. That kind of love is deep. That kind of love is its own commodity. And you wouldn't think about a side chick, or you wouldn't think about these little games where I was a nerd before, and so I'm going to get another call. These are all games that you don't play with people's emotions, because what happens is this 5-letter word called karma. Watch out for that. If you've gotten this far, please click like, please click subscribe. Be kind to your person. And if you just be kind to your person. Have a good one. Click subscribe. I'll talk to you later. Bye.